All right, cool. So, hey everyone, welcome to Spring 2016, Week 10. 3 weeks left.
Yeah.
Who's ready?
No.
Yeah. It's gonna happen. Don't even worry about it. We're gonna talk about everything. You're in the tender care of Nathan Moore today. All right. So today's agenda has got some general announcements, some cool things going on, short term and long term. Ignore the thing with DevKit guests. Don't worry about it. It'll happen later. Talking about artwork submissions for an art gallery on campus, our T-shirts, some of our people who've been getting some employment opportunities, our speaker that's coming in next week, general status update, but in totally whacked out order because I don't know how to make a slideshow. Cool. So some general announcements. We have an inter-high game jam that we're going to be helping to put on. It's going to be happening next semester, September 23rd. So that's going to be week 3 of development for us next semester. So we'll already be getting some, it'll be happening Friday. So it'll be happening at the same time as our dev jams that Friday. But by that time, we'll already be picking up a lot of steam. That'll be our 3rd dev jam. So it won't really impede progress. And it's a chance for us to help high schoolers start learning about game development. We've put on events kind of like this in the past for like a fundraising opportunity, but this time from some of the contacts we made at GDC, people realized that some high school teachers realized that Cal State Long Beach, because of our club and us being just generally awesome, would be a pretty cool place to host an event like this. So this is going to be a larger thing than what we've done in the past. We're also going to have a lot more support than what we had in the past because we're going to be getting grants from schools and things like that. And it's going to be a cool way for us to kind of give back to the community. Indicate submission. So we're going to be submitting Echoes of Tikkun to be considered to be hosted at Indicate. And we're going to hear a little bit more about what that gets us in a sec. Also, for those of you who haven't seen yet on our Facebook page, UC Irvine's Video Game Development Club is putting on a game jam this weekend. If you have time, somehow, it's a really good chance to hang out with other developers. Like some of you might know from me talking about them, they take on the idea of like small development teams, and so that's kind of they're kind of like function more as like an indie space than we do. So if you want to get some experience working in that and also just really focusing on like a couple of things and really learning how to do those, that's kind of what game jams are really good at doing. Plus, obviously, food, meeting people. It is a bit of a slog, and it is like a 3-day event. You don't necessarily have to be there all 3 days. It is kind of appreciated if you can be there all 3 days, but that does mean probably driving back and forth or car camping in UC Irvine parking lots. So yeah. Also, the executive board is planning out a thing that we're currently calling the guinea pig / R&D team. So the idea behind this, I think I've mentioned it once or twice before, but the idea behind this is to have a team of specialized game developers that are a little bit more experienced, that can take on things that are a little bit more complex than what we normally can do. And it's a smaller team, and the idea is that they get a chance to take everything that they've learned over the course of their classes and over the course of being in VGDA, and so they take this process, since they've already been in VGDA, they've already learned the whole game development process, and they really just get to crank out something, like they really get to like really challenge themselves and put some really challenging, interesting stuff on their resume. And then for the kind of main development group, it benefits them because we can kind of throw weird and wacky challenges at the R&D team and figure out how we can solve those. Like, can we set up a 3D art pipeline? Because a lot of games these days are done in 3D. Like, can we make like a 3D art pipeline work? Stuff like that. And so it's this thing where we're kind of using it to give our more experienced developers a chance to like really show off what they can do, and then also a chance for us to bring up the level of the main development group as well. But still very much, we're still very much planning everything out. But if you have any questions about any of this, please let us know, because we have a lot of questions too, and we're trying to answer those over the course of We want to get this implemented by next semester, so that this will start next semester. So we have summer break to plan it, for the executive board to plan it out. But yeah, so look forward to that. So as some of you probably remember, the lead gameplay programmer on Overwatch, Tim Ford, is coming to talk to us next week. So he's going to be able to do kind of like, he's going to be able to come in at 4 o'clock, see our whole process, our whole presentation. He'll be giving us some feedback on that, or he'll be giving some, like me and some of the other people, some feedback, which of course I'll release to the club as well. And then he's going to be giving a talk on kind of the last, because we technically have this room until 6:45. So he'll be giving a talk for like a half hour. So our meeting will like end at 5:30, and then between 5:30 and 6, he'll be giving his talk. And then after 6, he'll do a QA session. And his talk will mostly be covering kind of like what he does as the lead gameplay programmer on Overwatch, how he got there, and oh yeah, and like kind of some of the techniques that he uses as far as like collaboration and stuff like that. No.
Okay.
Crystal.
Okay. So I've been organizing this since last semester, and in the USU on the bottom floor, there's actually an art gallery, and I've been meaning to put our art students' works from the games into the gallery, so you guys can kind of get some, like, what's it called? I don't know. Get noticed. Exposure. That's the word. Get some exposure. It gives the club exposure in general as well. So I do have some pieces from Parasomnia if you were here working on that game. So if it's not like on the Trello page from last semester, you can also just use the template that we used for that game and go ahead and send it to me. You can send it to me through Facebook if you really want to, or you can send it to programs.vgda@gmail.com. So I'm going to be putting Parasomnia in, but I really want Echoes of Cocoon to be in there. So if you want your piece to be in there, all the pieces might not get chosen. We do have to kind of keep it to a limit. But if you want your piece to possibly be in it, go ahead and put it on the Echoes of Cocoon template and send it to me. And hopefully yours will get in. But if you have any concerns, just email me or Facebook me, whatever. Come talk to me when the meeting's over. Any questions?
When's the deadline for submissions?
So the submissions, it's due, like the whole application itself is due on May 1st. So I need them at least a week before that, and I'm sure most of the art will be done by then. So
so you're only going up to Parasomnia, right?
no, I'm grabbing the stuff from Parasomnia, but I'm also grabbing Echoes of Cocoon.
But you need to grab it from like the last arrow or other previous games.
I don't have access to those, and
I can give you access to those.
I do.
I can give you access to those.
Okay. Because I don't want too many pieces, because I already have so many from Parasomnia.
Okay.
But if you want, I can do that too. Was there a template we used for that?
Yeah.
Oh, there was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Any questions? Cool. Thank you.
And another thing about, for those of you who, another really great benefit of us submitting these art pieces to the kind of exhibit is that if we can really show off some of the work that people have been doing, and you guys have been, you artists have been doing some really fantastic work for this game, it really legitimizes like kind of VGDA standing as a place where people practice and learn, or learn and practice art skills. And so if we can put on this exhibit and then advertise that in the art building, your peers come in and see, hey, wow, they're actually doing really cool stuff for these games. It might encourage them to join next semester, which will mean that there are more artists and we can do more artistically complex things for our game. It also means that the school is more likely to fund us, at least on the art side of things. So those are some really cool benefits, in addition to obviously getting your work out there and having people see all the work that you put into this game. Amber, did you want to talk about Indicate?
Hello. Everybody knows me. I'm Amber. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Indicate and what we'll get out of submitting our game. So submitting our game would get us the consideration to become finalist or official selection status, which is both good, but I think we should aim for finalist. It would also get us at least one detailed review of the game that we submit from the Indicate jury, and it will get us also one complimentary pass to Indicate Festival 2016, date and location to be announced. It would also get us two passes to the invite-only Indie Exchange event, which is a pre-festival gathering of developers where there's a bunch of panels, workshops, and opportunities where you can work and network. And of course, if you get finalist or official selection status, there would be more benefits, such as more tickets and stuff.
Cool. Yeah. So obviously, if we can get people checking out our game, that's going to be a great thing. If we can get a critique of our game, man, that guy's like got some messed up designs. So obviously, if we can get people looking at our game, talking about our game, that's only going to be a good thing for us. And you know, if we win, what if we become finalists? I mean, there are a lot of great games out there. The competition's definitely stiff, but it could happen. And if that does happen, I mean, that'd be an amazing opportunity for all of us. Also, some free tickets to Indicate. Like, that's nothing to sneeze at, which is a pretty solid networking opportunity to meet people in the area, and also just generally learn more about how indie games are made. Most of what we do is focus on the kind of AAA style of development, which is cool. That's where a lot of the money comes from. But indie games happen, and they can make tons of money also. And you know, they're also generally people really like the work environment there. So that's why people tend to that's why the people in the indie sphere tend to gravitate towards that. So this is not our t-shirt design for this semester. This is, and this is the winning design that we had. Well, this is like kind of the only real design that we had come in, so this is our shirt for Echoes of Cocoon / VGDA for this semester. I think it looks really cool. This was made for us by Haley, so thank you very much, Haley. Yeah. The VGA logo is going to be a little bit bigger, but other than that, this is going to be the shirt that we're going with. And so, damn, I didn't make an order sheet. Okay, so we'll be taking orders today once I make an order sheet. The shirts are $15 each. We can do hoodies. I have no idea what those will cost, but it will kind of, as long as we get 6 people ordering hoodies, we can do it. It probably will be in the neighborhood of $25, maybe $30. But yeah, so this is the shirt we're going to be making, and if you have an interest in getting this semester's shirt, come to us probably after you're done scrumming, because by that time I'll have enough time to make an order sheet so we can get everything taken care of. And if you happen to have $15 on you, that would be great, because that means that we can place an order without. That means we can place the order and make sure that we have that money in hand. This is we're doing this so that we can raise more money, and we'll be talking about what we're going to be spending some of our money on in the probably next week. So, if for those of you who haven't seen the posts that are going on on the VGDA Facebook group, a bunch of people in the club have gotten like jobs or internships or some fairly successful interviews with some pretty awesome companies, and they've been doing that at least partly on the merit of the work that they've done in VGDA. So, with that said, I think a lot of people in this club are more employable than they realize at the moment. Like I was looking at, it's called orcahq.com. It's like ORCAHQ.com. It's a game developer kind of Craigslist site. Really useful site to check out. And there are a lot of job postings, and I was looking through it, and like there are some associate producer positions. You know, that's kind of those are the jobs that I'm looking at right now, and I like demolish their requirements because I've been making games for several years now, and like they got nothing on me. So I think a lot of people here are kind of at that point, even if they don't realize it. A lot of people have been making games for a year. Several of you, or most of you in this room, have a published title on your resume, at least one. And you've been doing great work. You've been doing really great work in this kind of crazy AAA on a no budget hybrid company like thing. And there are a lot of challenges that interviewers are really interested in finding out about because they are real challenges. They're challenges that people face in AAA game companies. And as a college student, most of their college students have never experienced things like that. We generously provide challenges for you. But seriously, it's a great experience and it's great resume building, and companies appreciate that a lot. So Emily Wilder, Aaron Gutierrez, who's an alumni, for those of you who don't know, he was our tech lead for a while, and then our VP of development. Katie Chow, Amber Huang, Huang? Yeah. She was teaching me Mandarin. Yeah, Mandarin, cool. I'm like fluent now. And myself have all secured jobs, internships, interviews because of our work in VGDA. Like I came out of GDC with 5 job interviews for 5 different companies. Since then, I applied to a few more places, and I got callbacks to every single place that I applied to. And I plan on posting my resume tonight. Not that it's a good resume, but apparently it's a good enough one. And it's entirely VGDA. There is nothing on my resume that is not VGDA. Well, except for like, I went to Cal State Long Beach, which is like one line at the bottom. And for those of you who don't know, I don't put my GPA on there. Don't put your GPA on there. You look dumb. So, especially me because my GPA is horrible. But whatever. Moving on. But yeah, so my resume is entirely VGDA, and I actually had to turn down a job offer because, well, they wanted me to like drop out of school to work for them full time and stay in school, kids. But yeah, so like they were excited enough about this person who's like worked in VGDA as a college student that they wanted to just offer me like tons of money. But quitting school is not, well, that wasn't worth it to me. It could be to some people, probably not. I don't know. Anyway, so basically be confident that your work is going to really help you out in the future, or now, if you're close to graduating. So our general progress in the game, Spring Break has been super productive for us. There were new updates on the game being done like every few minutes. It felt like at the Pajama Jam on the tech side, and a lot of art got done. And like design made a lot of progress with the puzzles and sound. I actually have no idea. I just assume that you guys are doing good because every time I ask, you're like, yeah, we just made this awesome music. You're gonna cry a little bit. So, but I'm a big manly man, so I don't have to do that. Because of this, I like I think when people are playing the game right now, they feel like it still kind of feels and looks like a half put together game. It's not. It's just that the pieces are the pieces are made. It's just putting it together, and yes, that does take time, but we still have 3 weeks. You know, we still have, you know, a quarter of our time left, or a little more than that. And not only is Echoes of Cocoon our most difficult game we've ever made, but it's also probably going to be the most polished game we've ever put out. It's already, we're already talking about, oh, this doesn't quite feel right. Let's make these changes to make it feel better. Oh, this art asset isn't quite making where it needs to be. Let's revise this, because we've gotten a lot better at planning. We've also, you know, there are people who have been putting in a lot of work into this game, and it's so rewarding to see people be really passionate about this project, and it seems like everyone really is. So I know I've been saying this a lot, but it's true. So, second. Yeah. No, it's gonna be really cool to see where this game is going, because we've never really, before it's always been oh, it's good enough, just shove it in there, maybe people won't notice. But at this point, we've really given ourselves enough time, and we've really put in enough work that we can start paying attention to how well we complete our tasks, not just whether or not we complete them. So good job to everyone. So that's all I've got. Questions, comments, feedback, concerns? No? All right. So I guess we'll do our team presentations now. So Cameron? Cool.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Cameron.
You need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm in the light. What we're working on so far over spring break is we've been mainly doing the level music. That's close to being done. It's going to be done sometime next week. After that, I have to do some editing of the level music just a little bit, so that would take about an additional week. So 2 weeks from now, you can say that all the music for the game, at least the music that we need right now, will be done. So yay. Sound effects. Me and Andrew went through the asset list yesterday and figured out what we needed to do for all of them. I'll be assigning those assets today, and they should be done within a week, I would say. If not, maybe a little longer. So, unless anything major gets added, we should be done with everything in 2 weeks, which leaves an extra week of wiggle room. Yeah, in case something explodes, we have to deal with that. So, yeah. Any questions, comments, concerns? Nah? Alright.
Music?
What?
Do you have any music?
No, we don't. It's a
Okay.
WIP for now. A work in progress.
Well, I'm glad that you scheduled a week of oh shit time
Yeah.
on your schedule. It's always a good idea.
Yeah. Everyone needs a week of oh shit time.
Yeah, at least one. Yeah. Yeah, we're actually gonna redo the whole game, so the whole game is just sound combat. Cool. Yeah, me too. Design. Do you have a presentation thing or no? You did? Okay.
And I'm still sick from GDC. My voice is still not better, so forgive me if I'm quieter than usual. Still worth it, but now. So.
It'll eventually load. I think.
Someday.
Someday.
Is it just the Wi-Fi or is it your laptop being terrible?
I'm gonna blame the Wi-Fi. And the 1.2 gigahertz of processing power that I have in this machine.
Oh, no, that's Wi-Fi.
Present.
Geriatrics.
What?
Yes, I could just hear the geriatrics. Computer just.
Oh yeah. Did you want to like do the thing, or do you want to do the thing?
So yeah, puzzles. I know I've said this has been a few previous things, but I promise the last time puzzles are finalized. Over the break, we had a big circle in Nathan's living room, and we talked a lot about puzzles and kind of reorganized them a little bit. So don't worry, Tech, it's all the same stuff you've been working on. It's just kind of reordered them. There's more of a difficulty curve now. So now you do like the kind of, well, they were already kind of in 3 segments, but we solidified those. So you have like Simon Says, where it gives you like a melody and you have to play that back. And then you have like Mastermind, I guess we called it, like that little game, little peg, colored pegs. So like there'll be a secret melody and you have to kind of like listen and like trial and error piece it out. And then there's Rhythm, because most of our puzzles were the other 2 mechanics with just like rhythm laid over them. So yeah, so that's how we're gonna organize it now. And we kind of rearranged all our puzzles to fit better into that. Yeah, so we've just been going through streamlining all the puzzles we have, making sure the documents are clear, making sure that there's no super extraneous assets, and like we're reusing stuff as much as possible. Everything will be finalized tonight. The final documents aren't up yet because I had an interview and was stressing over that instead of doing bigger stuff. But tonight it'll be finalized. Quarter puzzles are also, we didn't discuss them that much at the jam, but what we figured out, they're also going to be kind of similar mechanics. But whereas the puzzle rooms fill the whole room, so it's a mechanic like in 3D, like quarter puzzles are just that mechanic flat. So yeah, corridor puzzles with flat versions, puzzle rooms add dimension, platforming element. And then the elusive tent puzzle, which I mentioned before spring break, that was like brought up to me the day before the meeting, is like, hey, we want to do this, but we hadn't really pieced it out. And so that's a lot of what we did at the jam, is figuring this out. So what's going to happen is you're going to beat the final level, save Splendor, and she's going to be like, yay! And then you're going to go back to the hub, and the floor of the hub will open up, and beneath it there's a chamber that holds the final puzzle. And so you fall down, and you complete the puzzle. And as you're kind of doing it, before we had like Splendor trying to like, while you're there, like rile the gods into like humans betrayed us, and like fuck them, we don't need them, and kind of like bringing up, like trying to not turn on you, but being angry about what humans did. So now that's going to happen while you're in the puzzle and can't really defend yourself. 3 stages, each more difficult. Moving platforms. So rhythm, music, the same like kind of tone matching and stuff, but also extreme platforming, which I really like. And yes, 3 stages. So the whole time you're going to overhear Splendor like kind of trying to rally up all the other gods. And I didn't put this in the PowerPoint, but narratively we kind of decided that like Splendor's gonna like, first she'll be angry, and then like the second round she'll like be getting ordered to be angry, and the second round it'll be them angry, and Grace being like, oh okay, I guess you're angry, and kind of letting it happen. And then you complete it, and puzzle clicks, and it is like the final mechanism necessary to repair the instrument. So like you hear stone grinding, and then like all 3 statues move together, and suddenly they're one, and everything is the way it's meant to be. You emerge up from beneath and are like, hey, give humanity a chance, and then they give you a chance, and then that's the end. So, final puzzle. Really cool narrative thing. Yeah, so because of that, we finally sat down and figured out what the hub looks like. There will be a document up for that tonight. It was brought to our attention the week before we went to spring break that like we had not written up, we had never like solidified what this very important piece of our game looks like. So we went ahead and did that, and it has Art's blessing and it has Tech's blessing. So that'll be official. Yeah, I just told you, figured out exactly how the ending's going to play out. Nathan made an official bug report form, so now there's no excuse not to play test because it's really easy. I haven't looked at it, but I assume it is probably good. So that's going to be, yeah, please play test. Obviously design, it'll be one of your assignments, but everyone in the room, play test, tell us what you think. And we talked out with TAC, and they're going to give us kind of like instruction on what they need the most feedback on, what needs the most testing. And then also dialogue is ready for its final passes. Also, I didn't put this up there, but there's been some really cool stuff with mythology. Like, I think Ashley is writing like a 1,500 word short story. 1,500 word short story. It's like basically all the mythology. And we're going to break it up and stick it in the little codexes. Yes.
Also, so this will be a standing thing for everyone for the rest of development. Every bug report that you submit, so bug reports are going to be just a standing assignment for anyone who wants to take it on. So any bug report that you submit will be worth 1 point. As long as it's not like ridiculous garbage. Like if you answer all the questions, and I mean I'm not saying that anyone would, but like, you know, if you just like, you know, type in random stuff, obviously. But a real bug report that answers the questions as best you can, takes the time, like it's going to be worth about 1 point. We think it's probably going to take less than an hour. It might take about an hour, but an hour should be about what you commit to, like at max, what you commit to a bug report. Yeah.
Is it gonna? Are you guys gonna put up the? What was it, like the report doc on?
Yeah, it'll. Yeah, I'll pin it up on our Facebook page.
Yeah, and it is nearing the end of semester. We have 3 weeks left. Like, that's enough to jump a level, but if you really want to make core and you've had a bunch of big assignments, like bug reports will really help a lot. So this week we are playtesting, finalizing all the dialogue. It's all written out in roughs, except I think the ending, but we just figured out the ending. So we'll be going through making our final edits, making our final voice checks, making sure all the narrative things that we want to play in are there. And that should be finalized probably by Tuesday. At the jam, we're going to be mapping out our codexes. So I know I had mentioned these in like the little feature creep section. But Tech has programmed it so that every time you hit a dead end while you're just exploring, you'll get like a little tidbit of lore that'll pop up and you'll be able to read it. And I believe they're also making it so that you'll be able to see all the ones that you've collected throughout your plays, like from the menu. So that's kind of been like the carrot on the end of the stick for all of us narrative people, because that kind of stuff is super cool to do, and I wanted to make sure everything else got done. But with the puzzles done and the dialogue done, I think that's all we have. So that's going to be, so we're going to put it all on the whiteboard next week, or at the jam, figure out like exactly where we want to go with those. More playtesting, please. I'm going to assign like 5 bug reports a week from everyone, because playtesting needs to happen. And then assisting other teams is the final touches, so like obviously there's still questions unanswered. Please, now is the time, talk to us, help us figure it out. I know art and design have been like really communicative with the fresco, like that's, yeah, just stay in touch, let us know what you need from us, and that's it. Cool, I talked for a long time. Alright.
VGDA chat as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Was anyone else's spring break way too short?
I was sick the entire week.
Between the fingers.
I know, right?
Me too.
I went up to LA like about 7 times just during the weekdays of spring break for the various interviews that I was having, because they're all up in LA. It was just like, I spent like legitimately $150 on parking that week. $4 every 10 minutes. Yeah. They like bought me coffee and I was like, can you pay for my parking instead? Like, you validate?
Sorry guys, week 10. Okay, so we actually, it's not sort of, we got finalized today, so that's an update. We did the discussion on Wednesday, like always, and that's probably going to be the last discussion we have for the semester since we only have 4 characters. I don't feel like environmental assets really warrant that kind of thing because, you know, they're not characters that we have to exactly, you know, assign personalities to and, you know, take into consideration the personality for us to create the asset. So, yeah, as always, 2 points are distributed to participants in the call. And with this character design, the game is complete, so everybody that's on the character design team will now be moved to the other facets of production. This is some of the final concept art for Splendor. Here we've got Jordan's, we've got Jose's. This is Sarah's. One of them being, you know, one of the skeletons for our for Splendor, and next. And this is the main skeleton for Splendor, and you'll see all the finalized gods on the next slide, I believe. Alright, so these are our finalized gods. We've got Order, Splendor, and Grace. As you can see, the red hair and yellow skins have been incorporated into that last skeleton, and yeah.
Look at this shit! Ah! It's, yeah, give me, come on. Ah, it's so good. So good.
Alright, some of the assets or concepts of assets that we're going to need for the environment. One of them is a pressure plate or, you know, floor switch. And the other one is a lever, I believe. Yeah. This is the finalized statue for Grace that's going to be showing up in the hub. We're thinking of doing 2 versions. One of them is going to be a little more withered, and that's going to be when she's not quite complete. And once the stage has been completed, we're going to have her in all her glory, and it's going to be handled just by a bit of desaturation here and there, and maybe the removal of certain attributes of the statue, so it wouldn't be too long. We've got plans for the fresco now. Haley is totally spearheading that, and you know, she's just, you know, running through and, you know, recruiting everybody. And I would also like to you know, have more people from character design shifting over to fresco. Because it's going to be a very staple, it's going to be a staple in our game for us to, you know, really draw in the players. And a reference document has been posted, so everything that you need to know about it, a list of assets, you know, symbols, all that stuff you'll be able to find on there. Everything you need to start on it will be on there. So artists, read that document, let us know what you're working on so that we don't assign tasks to everybody, or one task to multiple people. And other developers, if you guys, you know, want to tackle it, then, you know, feel free to contact me about that, and I'll task you. All right, so a little bit about the fresco, just general rundown kind of stuff. We're going to have several sections here, each depicting a part of the narrative. Right in the middle, that's going to be the creator god that creates the 9 gods, and, you know, the rest. I'm not going to go through all of that, but it's really cool. You read all of this and just kind of visualize what it can be with the style that we've got. A symbol for unity. This is a little bit of you know, a sample of what the gods are going to look like. I would like them to all be enclosed within a circle because the circle transcribes, you know, like, you know, the cosmos and like things that we don't quite grasp, and all that celestial beings. And I guess basically by transcribing the braid, which is Unity's, you know, or which is a symbol of Unity's identity, we're able to kind of pull together all the gods just by using that circle. Some fresco ideas. This is probably going to be for the middle tile that I was just talking about, where the one creator god creates all the 9 others, and some more fresco work over there that's a little bit more conceptual. Something that's a little more polished. This is the tutorial stage. And this is where Zimri's going to learn, or the player's going to learn how to jump with Zimri, and that's depicted in the back there. So I think that's super awesome, using the environment itself to teach you something instead of actually having it tell you through text. I think that's very, very cool. Some user interface stuff, maybe a little spacey, but we'll work on it.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
it will definitely work if we maybe tone it to a little warmer so it can kind of match the background that we're going for. But we're probably going to go for this general look. It's going to be a little bit of a glow around things that you're highlighting, and super simplistic, but at the same time it also has a bit of personality to it, a little bit of culture. So these are some of the, you saw the logo that we've got on the t-shirts, but I feel like this one's a lot better, or slightly better than the other one, just because it feels like, since there's no overlaying elements, it kind of references a fresco a little better than something that does overlay, which is a little less hieroglyphic. Animation for Zimri for the jump. Default animation won't look too much different than that last frame there, other than maybe some of the cloth swaying around, and basically this just needs to be filled in, and we'll have a jump animation. Task completed. We got Splendor down, so all the gods are done, all the characters are done. We got some world building to do. Actually, these are well, we did all that stuff. Finalized. We got Splendor and environment assets, and tasks to be completed will be next.
Sorry. Well, it's too exciting.
So we gotta finalize animations, jump, fall, play music. I believe those will be done within a week. Some puzzle elements that are in conceptual stages, and we have yet to conceptualize some more puzzle elements, and they have just been finalized on design's part, so we can finally move on with those in a very affirmed way. And the hub area and hub statues are ready to be worked on as well, since the hub statues required the finalization of the gods, and fresco and UI are still in conceptual stages. So basically we're just doing all the work we can before this thing launches. So for the next 2 weeks we're just going to keep finalizing assets for puzzles, hubs, and animation, or the hub and animations. Questions, comments, concerns? Cool.
Right on schedule, Mr. Zatlin. Awesome. So, just
Throw your stuff
so I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Google Hangouts has added a new feature called Drop the Mic, which sends everyone in your email recipient
They
thing.
got rid of that almost immediately.
Oh, did they?
Well, they got
That was
they
on,
got people.
That was just email.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an April Fool's thing.
Oh, damn it!
A guy lost.
I fall for every single April Fool's prank ever.
Some guy lost his job from that. They took it out immediately.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was a glitch where it would do it even when you hadn't selected it.
Oh no!
Like somebody was sending like a grave condolences letter about somebody's dead daughter, and at the top.
And drop the mic? No, okay, so for those of you who don't know, it sent everyone a gif of like a minion wearing a crown, dropping a mic and walking off the stage, and then it like unsubscribed you from getting any other emails. So no one could respond to an email once you had dropped the mic. And it was like, great, so you've added like passive aggression as a feature to your email system. It was great. So yeah, I guess tech's gonna show us something or whatever.
Nah.
So I thought you were probably the title screen.
All right. So over the past 2 weeks, we had a lot of work done. As you can see, we now have the new logo up. It's no longer a Adagio, and now it's a green background. And now with background music, pretty swanky.
We're just gonna keep it green though.
Yeah, that's the final title screen. So we also added a loading screen to help with the generation, so that way the players are just standing there. And we also implemented the back mural for the tutorial. So yeah, you can jump around, see the whole view of it. It'll probably be way smaller. The camera will be zoomed out. These presets aren't really finalized.
Is that the?
Yeah, that's the switch. You can hit that.
No. So Jimmy, that's not the updated animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are just the working cameras. Just so it's not just a static image, just floating around. And there we have Ray's statue. So if you go fly up, there she is in her full grace. The others aren't there for the time being. So we also added the part of the mural. We said it was the almost empty battery plant.
Now no one's going to be able to see anything else. Do you know what you've done?
I know exactly what I've done. And if you see, the camera now follows you more strictly. There's no delay anymore, which is good. And there's the background, which will be scaled down for when we walk by. As you can see, it moves along with you.
We've got
So it's kind of like a foreground sort of perspective added to it. Yeah, there's also the turnaround animations there.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find
Find Shrek?
yeah, let's see if we can find
Find Shrek, the game.
Find Shrek. Better check yourself. Better Shrek yourself before you wreck yourself. Or is it check yourself before you Shrek yourself?
Just stop.
Just stop. I'm tired. Okay.
You gotta add
Well, I mean, in the coming weeks, we can finally replace some of these old placeholders. Let's see if we can find a corridor puzzle. Well, placeholder corridor puzzle. So before, it would just check if it's in a corridor and it just places a block. But now, it checks whether it's vertical or horizontal. So now we can plan ahead of time if it's going to be vertical or not, and then fit it in there. Let's see, did any vertical?
No,
Okay, let's make that spawn chance like 100%.
I see Shrek.
Yes.
So if you can head over to the, where is it? Yeah, the game manager, 100, yeah, there we go. Perfect. Now let's see if some will spawn this time. Well, obviously there won't be a loading screen because we loaded straight from the scene, but yeah. Oh, 2 Shreks this time.
Oh.
Almost there. There we go.
That was a lot more amazing.
Yeah, we also did a lot of tweaks to the generation. It's a lot more windy, definitely not just a straight shot. So we're getting closer and closer to having the perfect generation. And you can see that it revealed more parts of the mural, though we did realize that some parts, like maybe this far off corner, might never be seen. So
We broke it.
Put the more important stuff like in the center, or just put like some Easter eggs there. I mean, whatever.
I think that's already sort of the plan. I think they laid it out like that kind of deliberately.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So let's see if there's. Because
Haley, is that right?
Yeah, main
Yeah.
content is gonna be.
Yeah, main content's okay, cool.
oh, I don't think I see why we don't see it. Because like the prefab, it's like a tiny little pink cube. So
yeah.
the chances of it seeing it are kind of low. So if you could go to one of the other scenes, like maybe the bowl scene, show off some of the puzzle rooms we've been working on, which we've got quite a bit more to work on, but we're on track. I believe this is the bowl
Yeah,
puzzle
the,
room. I'll call it that.
The Tibetan.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it. But as you can see, if you jump in the right order, which is the black, green, it should open it. But first you have to activate it. So definitely there'll be, this is just to see how things work.
You
wrong
fucked
order.
up.
It'll be way more bowls floating around, and that will probably be at the bottom, the golden bowl. We'll be waiting for the
So
card asset.
do we need to have a singing bowl sound then?
We'll make
Do
that.
you guys already have that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, sweet. So that will be ready.
I don't know
to
I'm
be
here.
put in a
I just
puzzle.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What other scene should we show off? Go to the test scene. That's a good place to start. You added a lot more things to the fun part. Just tear out Joel's puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't want it.
It works, it just spits out errors. We promise. It worked, well, he has it where it's like, it stops the program from running if there's errors.
It breaks the
So
game.
this is a block where if you collide with it, it plays a sound. So this may seem really rudimentary, but
Do it again.
do it like 5 more times.
I motion to keep that game.
At the very end. And here we have some NBC
For your
dialogue.
for the final song, like for the credit theme, you're only allowed to mix with that sound. Challenge.
So if you notice, there's some dialogue up there. We're gonna clean it up a bit, you know, with some UI art, but right now it's just in its basic infancy. Whoa! I didn't even read that. What was it saying? Let's see what else is here.
You're like teasing us.
That was an old puzzle.
That was pretty much everything that was added.
All right, go to the platform scene then.
I will
Save.
playtest only
All right, so
to walk through that.
Yeah.
do you have your mobile phone with the latest?
Not with the latest build. I
Well-
can make one.
Well, we'll have it built next week. Here we have moving platforms, so we can adjust this to do whatever we want. We can have it be a door moving up. We can have it be some floor opening and you fall in. It could be anything. It could be flutes if it wants to be. I mean, the basic mechanic is down. For the reason why we're at the phasing platforms is because we worked on the mobile version, having it to where it works on these platforms. So now we have 2 types of platforms we can mess with, so the puzzles can be more varied without having to be too complicated or having to deal with. What was that? Something. So what else is there? Oh, yeah. So you can see it's going in a diagonal direction. I think we made it to where, yeah, we can just change the speed. Really fast. Let's see how fast that thing can go. 100, all right.
Wait, what happens if you?
Got it.
Intense speeds.
It's moving too fast.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Gotta go fast.
So yeah, I mean,
Sonic.
content, just be free to think of whatever you can with those moving platforms. We can do it with a couple changes of numbers. So
Be free with the
yeah.
Pretty dangerous. Pretty dangerous phrase.
Platforms though.
No, we still don't say that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, unless you make them like.
definitely work on that.
Can you go down through that?
Nope.
Platforms.
Zimri doesn't go down.
Platform rally.
What?
Yeah, we have that. We showed that off last week. We have that working for the mobile build now, so that's all peachy keen. Let's go to.
Be whiter.
I will be wider. Let's see, what else was there? I think that was the majority of what we worked on. There were some things that we won't be showing this week because we had issues merging with it, and that was the scripted event, where you stepped on this invisible block and it pans to like a god and it talks to you. And it works for the most part, it's just the canvas wasn't really implemented well, like the text box. So that will be done by next week. And also next week, we'll be working on more of the puzzles, a lot of the puzzles, as well as maybe the credit scene, just to have it there, as well as more scripted events, if we can shove them in, and just making it look more polished. If you guys haven't heard, there's the technical forms you can do to play test the game. I'll probably put up the latest build tonight, if not, hopefully tomorrow, and just test the hell out of this game. Just play it, just do all of the weirdest shit you can think of, just go crazy, and then see what bugs you can find. The more we can find, the easier we can squash them and have them done by shipping time. So, did you talk about that?
Yeah. Also, for those of you who don't know, if you're looking for like jobs to do while you're a student that are maybe in the game industry, QA, which is quality assurance, actually really like a pretty decent place to get some game development experience. And when you fill out these bug reports, keep a copy of them, because if you are like, you're a sophomore or even like a junior, you're not going to be graduating for a few years, and you have any interest in, going into QA as like a kind of a part-time thing, save your bug reports, send them, put them on your resume. Be like, I have saved bug reports that I did for games that I tested. So like, even if you're not at a point where you can get like a game industry job in like art or like technical or like design, any of that stuff, QA is a good place to get some experience, and you'll learn